I planned to do a bit of work today on the car, but I had to attend something first, and if you know, you know. Yeah. Half an hour or so, I got my lines done. Just gonna get onto the car now and scrape some of this away, mark it up, and then I'll be cutting this out. It's actually a new day and we're back on the car. Bit of a mess. Hacking into this, don't have that much room. The chassis rail is actually underneath here and I don't want to cut into it, and then like welding my way out of this is going to be difficult. If you come through this side you can see that big gap, so I'm going to try and bash this in a bit more, clean up this mess, hit this guy down, weld along there. Not happy with this side. Trying to think ahead, still didn't work. Bashing this over. I mean, it's helped to weld it, but in terms of clearance with the trailing arm, it hasn't helped. So I won't be doing this to the other side. I'll just maintain on this edge, so it's flush with the chassis rail. Yeah, that's annoying. Prepped, ready for welding, the internal of it. So I get on here, weld all that. I'll just seam weld this one, weld this up, and then I'll get on to actually making the other stuff. That bit's been welded. Now we're actually on to the fun part. That's that piece done, and that will go in there. But before I do all that, I need to make the other two pieces, weld them onto this. This drops in there, then I'll weld around the sides. So after all that, I'm probably not going to run with it. So instead, I'm going to have it flush down here, and then at some point there will be sheet metal coming up on an angle over to this side, and that way, I mean, it's a bit more strength, and it will also tie in nicely for when I need to do the wheel arch. What a waste of time. Before I begin to change the plan, I need to think back to why I went this way and convince myself why the way I want to go is better. It's been a while since I worked on it. I can't quite remember. The back panel here is going to remain the same because this is quite flimsy. I'll be able to get a nice long weld along there. I've also slotted this out so I get a weld down in there, and I can probably even slot it out further down now and be able to weld that since this won't be there. I'm liking this a lot more. I'll also cut along here so it's just back of the body panel so I can get a nice weld down that. The other side of this is going to be sweet as inside corner joint, and then I'll cut the back side of this flush with the wheel arch, and this piece will then come over here on this nice flat section, and it will come out as an angle, but it will also marry up with the wheel arch, and they'll intersect quite nicely then. Yeah, heaps happier with the route that I've chosen. So I've made this, which slots into here. So you got that big gap I was trying to fill. Fits in there like that. Then I'm onto the actual mounts for the end of the trailing arm, the blade arm, whatever you want to call it, where that helm joint goes, which is a part I'm looking forward to, because this has been real pain in the ass. Before I weld along these edges and on the back here, I'm going to paint the inside of it with some high heat paint because I don't want it rusting from the inside out. Getting there though. Just got to put a bit more weld into this and then grind it back so it looks a bit neater. Strength wise, it's definitely there. It sounds really solid. Yeah. So that's good. Adding these really helped. Underneath, we'll just have a quick look. I've ran out of MIG wire, so I've got to go get some more. I'm working my way down here. It got a bit shit as I started to run out of wire, and then I need to pull this across a bit as I weld it, and then I'll get in here with a grinder and cut that off. So you've only got the bead, and then I'll round it off as well, similar to what I've done over there. Then figure out how I'm going to tidy up this mess, and that's done.